Welcome to this quick bonus video of how to become a film director, episode number 9. Now in this video, I'm going to show you how to set up a scene for a discussion happening between two characters. So I'm going to run through a series of drawings I did on my computer to show you step by step how you should build your scene. But I'm asking you to forgive me for the presentation. Since I'm not used to do that on computer, well, quality is rather ordinary, but I did it for fun and I thought it was interesting, so I've decided to share it with you as a complementary video from episode number 9. So let's kick it off right now. So here, in this case, let's presume that our two characters will be sitting face to face at a table and that there'll be a window in the back of that room. Now, every time you come on location, always look at what you have first. The best cinematographer in the world will say that most of the time, the light which is already there is the best light you should start building from. Now here, in this case, the window in the back will be our key light, and we'll start building from that. Now we could have placed the table close to the wall in the back because there's a window there, so we could have used the scenery behind it. Now here I've decided to pull back the table a couple of meters from that wall, like we said previously. So now let's bring those two characters, Mr. Y, our protagonist, and Mr. Z, the other actor facing him. So that's our blocking. That's what we will have to shoot for that scene. Nobody will be moving, just a conversation scene. Now from there, what should we do first? That's right. We should draw an imaginary line between the heads of those two characters to apply the 180-degree rule. Now here we'll put the line on the ground to have it out of the way, but still it's the same thing. We should decide on which side to put the camera. Remember, we said that we want to pick the opposite side from the key light. So here we will put the camera on this side, and we always want to start by the wide shot. In this case here, it's going to be a 2-shot in the middle of those two characters, so at 45 degrees from the line on the ground. And since it's a wide shot, we will probably shoot that with something around an 18mm lens, depending on the camera you have. So here we have our 2-shot. So the reason why we want to shoot on this side is because, like I said, it's more flattering for the actors and it's more beautiful to watch. Now here, that's what we will see in between those two blue lines. That's our framing. Now I've decided here to add a practical behind Mr. Y, our protagonist, and I've decided to put a tungsten light to give him some warmth because we love him, because he's our hero. So it will also be acting as a backlight for him in his case. Now here, I could shoot like that because it's daytime, if there's enough light in the room, I could shoot straight like that. But if not, I could add a bouncing board to bounce the light coming from the window to the face of my actors. Or if it would be darker outside, I would probably add a fill light. But here, I've decided that I don't need a fill light, just a bouncing board is enough. Now here, I'm ready to shoot that scene. It's daytime, everything is clear, so I'm ready to shoot that scene. But if I would need some more light, since we will be moving in a close-up shot of Mr. Z, I can add some more lights in his direction. So out of frame, behind Mr. Y, I could add one of my own light, the same color temperature as the light coming from the sun outside, in the direction of Mr. Z here. And since it's out of frame, nobody will ever notice it. Everybody will think that it's the light coming from the window. And if the back wall behind Mr. Z is dark, let's say he has dark hair and we want to have him pop out of the background, we could also add a backlight like I did here in my studio in episode number 9. So now here I have the full setup here and we're ready to move in a close-up shot. So let's bring in camera B and we're going on Mr. Z here, but we still want to have Mr. Y in the frame. So we will shoot in a medium lens here, something around 35mm, possibly a 50mm, always depending on the camera you're shooting with. So here we will start seeing the back of Mr. Y and we will start seeing Mr. Z from in front of him. That's a 2-shot. Now, when you will shoot that shot here, be sure not to have the backlight behind Mr. Z in the framing, because most of the time, to be effective, to be efficient, we need to have that backlight close to him. So that's how we would shoot that medium shot. Now we will move into an extreme close-up shot. So let's bring in camera C here. Now notice that camera C went inside camera B. So camera B was at about 35 degree from the line here. Now here C is at about 15 degree from the line on the ground. We want to be over the shoulder of Mr. Y here, because we're going on something like an 85mm lens, something very, very long, very close. And the reason why we need to be inside of camera B here is because we want to get intimate with him. The reason of making an extreme close-up shot is to get intimate. We want to be in his eye line, like if we would be in the position of Mr. Y almost. That type of shot is called an over the shoulder. So we will probably see a little bit of the back shoulder of Mr. Y, but we will have head to shoulder from Mr. Z here in extreme close-up shot. We want to underscore something he will say or some reaction shots he will have. So that's the reason why we need to be intimate with him in his eye line. If you put camera C here, extreme close-up shot between A and B, it will look awkward. That is the right way to do it here. So the closer you get in terms of proximity with your longer lens, the tighter you should be inside your line. That's the way to do it. Now the only thing left is to do the exact same thing moving on Mr. Y here and adjust your light the right way, and you will have a very beautiful scene. So hope you liked it, hope it was helpful, and see you for episode number 10.